Nelson Mandela's importance to the country of South Africa is supreme. I think that the fact that he was able to work through being in prison for 27 years and find a way of actually forgiving his enemy, and more than just forgiving the enemy, actually talking to the enemy and then reconciling with the enemy and understanding that the enemy is in fact part of what makes South Africa today. And he understood that. And he was able to bring huge transformation to the country, which we're all experiencing now and are blessed by now. I was so touched when I was writing Mandela Trilogy about, now that Mandela has passed on, what is his legacy? And the phrase, the purpose of freedom is to create it for others, is such a critical modern concept. I think it's our duty as individuals in a global society to ensure that because we have our freedom, we need to ensure that we can create it for other people. And this goes into areas of disability, into homosexuality, into people that are disenfranchised, to people who are struggling with poverty issues. We, as free individuals, need to learn from Mandela, who said that the purpose of freedom is to create it for others. And I think that's such a legacy for our modern times. Well, of course, transforming the life of Nelson Mandela into a musical of just under 2.5 hours is quite a challenge. I think about mounting a musical on the life of Churchill, for example, in England. That would be quite a tough thing to do. So I think what was important about putting it onto the stage was to find a way of sharing with people the defining moments in Mandela's life and giving the soundtrack of his life at those particular times. So the first act, for example, is the soundtrack of his life would be the indigenous music of the Transkei. The second act would be the Kwela music, the music of the townships, Miriam Makeba style, jazz musical style. And the third act, being the incarceration years, would be opera, a new opera work of 45 minutes long that speaks to the incarceration years. Cape Town Opera is really blessed with an incredible company of singers that are drawn from all walks of life in South Africa. If you were to come and see Mandela Trilogy, you're going to hear great voices, dancing that's going to get your toes tapping, sung by a company that is so passionate about the subject. And it's going to be an evening of absolute sheer enjoyment and entertainment. And at the end of the evening, you're going to be leaving humming some of the tunes from Africa.